Right now, somewhere someone is quitting. They're giving up on their dreams, their goals, their future because it got hard. But what if I told you that the moment you feel like stopping is the exact moment that decides everything? Every step forward, no matter how small, compounds. Every time you refuse to quit, you grow stronger, sharper, and closer to the life you were meant to live. So, before you even think about giving up, remember this: winners aren't those who never struggle, they're those who keep going when everyone else walks away. Struggle is not the enemy, it is the teacher disguised as hardship. The world will always try to make you believe that success is supposed to come easy, that the path to your dreams should be smooth and effortless, but anyone who has ever achieved anything meaningful knows the truth. Struggle is inevitable, struggle is constant, and struggle is necessary. The very act of facing difficulty is what separates those who merely wish from those who actually achieve. When you embrace the struggle, you are no longer a passive participant in life, you become an active force, someone who understands that every obstacle, every setback, and every failure carries a hidden lesson that is designed to strengthen you, to sharpen your mind, to harden your spirit, and to prepare you for the greater victories ahead. It is in the moments of struggle that you discover your true capacity. Most people run from discomfort, but those who succeed run toward it, not because they enjoy pain, but because they understand that the only way to grow is to stretch beyond the limits of what feels safe and comfortable. Every struggle is a mirror, reflecting back your weaknesses and your strengths, your fears and your courage. The more you lean into it, the more clarity you gain about who you are and what you are truly capable of. Struggle is not punishment, it is opportunity. Every challenge that blocks your path is also a chance to cultivate patience, resilience, and unwavering determination. When you face struggle, the natural reaction is to resist, to fight against it, and to ask, why me? But those who embrace struggle know that this resistance only prolongs suffering. Instead, they look at struggle as a necessary companion, an unavoidable part of the journey, and they ask, what is this moment teaching me? Every setback is a signal to adjust. Every failure is a guidepost pointing you toward the next step, and every disappointment is a chance to recalibrate your mindset. Life is not designed to be easy, but it is designed to be meaningful, and meaning is forged in the crucible of struggle. Embracing struggle also means rejecting the illusion of perfection. Many people avoid challenges because they are afraid of failing, afraid of looking weak, afraid of being judged. But struggle is proof that you are alive, proof that you are pushing beyond mediocrity, proof that you are striving for something greater. Each time you confront a difficult situation instead of running from it, you are proving to yourself that your potential is larger than your fears. You are proving that no circumstance, no failure, no moment of doubt has the power to define you unless you allow it to. Struggle is not a sign that you are weak. It is a sign that you are growing. The most important part of embracing struggle is maintaining perspective. Every challenge you face is temporary, but the strength, wisdom, and resilience you gain from it are permanent. Think about a diamond forming under pressure. The intense heat and weight do not destroy it. They transform it into something rare, valuable, and enduring. Your struggles work the same way. Every difficult conversation, every financial setback, every personal loss, every moment of self-doubt, they are all pressure points designed to refine your character. Those who run from struggle never understand the beauty of their own strength, while those who embrace it learn that they are far stronger than they ever imagined. It is also essential to understand that struggle is not linear. Life will not hand you challenges one at a time in neat, manageable packages. Sometimes it feels like everything is coming at you at once, like the universe is determined to test your limits. And in those moments, when it feels unbearable, the choice is simple. You can collapse under the weight of the struggle, or you can rise and continue moving forward. Embracing struggle does not mean that the pain disappears. It means that you refuse to let it stop you. You continue to step forward, day by day, moment by moment, understanding that progress is measured not by the absence of difficulty, but by your ability to endure it. Struggle also teaches humility. When you face difficulty, you realize that you cannot control everything, that life is unpredictable, and that you must adapt. It humbles you and reminds you that you are part of a larger process. This humility is not weakness, it is wisdom. It allows you to learn from others, to accept guidance, to seek knowledge, and to build relationships that support your growth. Struggle forces you to shed pride and ego, to recognize that true strength comes from persistence and adaptability, not from the illusion of control. Another key aspect of embracing struggle is learning to separate your identity from your circumstances. The world will throw challenges at you that feel personal, that feel like they are meant to define you. But if you can step back and view struggle as an external force rather than an internal judgment, you will begin to see that nothing that happens to you can diminish your value or your potential. Struggle is temporary, your essence is permanent. You are not defined by your failures, your mistakes, or your hardships. You are defined by your response to them, and when you choose to embrace struggle rather than resist it, you reclaim your power and assert that no challenge can hold you down unless you allow it to. Embracing struggle also fuels creativity and problem solving. When everything is easy, the mind grows complacent. But when obstacles arise, you are forced to think differently, to innovate, to find solutions you never imagined existed. Some of the greatest discoveries, inventions, and achievements in human history were born not out of comfort, but out of the pressure of adversity. The struggle compels you to dig deeper, to look beyond the obvious, and to find new paths forward when old ones are blocked. In this way, struggle is not just a test, it is a catalyst for innovation, growth, and self-discovery. Finally, embracing struggle requires a long-term vision. When you are in the midst of difficulty, it is easy to lose sight of the bigger picture, to become consumed by frustration, fear, or despair. But those who embrace struggle understand that every painful moment is part of a larger journey, that every challenge is a stepping stone toward mastery, and that perseverance is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. They recognize that success is not immediate, that growth is incremental, and that the path to greatness is paved with repeated effort, patience, and unwavering commitment. Struggle is not the enemy of progress. It is the essential ingredient that ensures progress is real, lasting, and transformative. When you embrace struggle, you stop fearing it, you stop avoiding it, and you stop letting it dictate your choices. Instead, you welcome it as a teacher, a guide, and a forge for your character. You learn to find meaning in difficulty, to discover lessons in pain, and to recognize that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Those who succeed are not those who have avoided struggle, they are those who have leaned into it, endured it, and allowed it to transform them into someone capable of achieving the extraordinary. Consistency is the hidden force behind every achievement. The quiet engine that drives success while most people are waiting for motivation to strike. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes like the weather, unpredictable, unreliable, and often absent when you need it most. Consistency, on the other hand, is dependable. It does not wait for the perfect mood, the ideal circumstances, or the right moment. It is the discipline to show up day after day, to take action even when it feels uncomfortable, even when progress seems invisible, and even when the world doubts you. Those who understand the power of consistency know that the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is not talent alone, not luck, not sudden inspiration, but the willingness to take small, deliberate steps over and over again without fail. The beauty of consistency lies in its cumulative effect. Every small action you take compounds over time, like drops of water filling a bucket, like tiny bricks building a fortress, or like seeds planted in the soil slowly growing into a forest. At first, the impact of these actions is barely noticeable. You may wonder if it's worth it, if your efforts are making any difference, if the world even cares. But consistency is patient. It works silently behind the scenes, building momentum, creating habits, and forging resilience. The person who understands this does not seek immediate validation or instant results. They know that long-term success is born from repeated effort, not from occasional bursts of energy or fleeting inspiration. Consistency is also a test of character. Anyone can show up when they feel like it, when circumstances are favorable, or when others are watching. The true challenge is showing up when you don't feel like it, when obstacles appear, when doubt creeps in, and when the easy choice would be to quit. This is where consistency becomes a reflection of your discipline, your integrity, and your commitment to your own growth. Each day you persist despite resistance. Each time you take action in the absence of motivation, you are training your mind, body, and spirit to become stronger, more resilient, and more capable of achieving what others deem impossible. One of the most overlooked aspects of consistency is its role in building momentum. Momentum is a powerful force, a natural law of effort that rewards those who keep moving. Each day you take action, no matter how small, you are adding energy to the system. Like pushing a heavy cart, the initial steps are the hardest, the most grueling, but as you persist, the cart begins to move more easily, faster, smoother. Momentum is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. And the key to creating momentum is consistency, showing up regularly, repeatedly, and relentlessly until action becomes habit and habit becomes second nature. Consistency also shapes your identity. People often think of discipline as a task or a chore, but it is much deeper than that. Every consistent action reinforces who you are, who you want to become, and how the world perceives you. When you commit to consistency, you are sending a message to yourself and to others that you are reliable, disciplined, and focused. Over time, this becomes part of your identity. You no longer ask yourself if you feel like it or want to do it. You simply do it because it is who you are. Consistency is not just about the work, it is about becoming the person capable of sustaining the work, capable of enduring, and capable of achieving greatness. Another critical dimension of consistency is its ability to create trust and credibility. Whether in personal relationships, business, or any pursuit, people notice when someone is dependable. When you consistently deliver, consistently act with integrity, and consistently pursue excellence, you build a reputation that precedes you. Others begin to believe in you, opportunities start to appear, and doors open that would remain closed to those who are inconsistent. Consistency is therefore not only a personal tool for growth, it is a social signal that amplifies your influence and impact in ways that sporadic effort never can. Consistency requires patience. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, it is easy to underestimate the value of steady, persistent effort. Results may not appear immediately. Progress may be slow, and the work may seem tedious or repetitive. But those who are consistent understand that the journey is cumulative. Every small effort, every repeated action is building a foundation that will eventually support something remarkable. Success is not a sudden event. It is the natural outcome of sustained effort, compounded over time, and consistency is the mechanism that ensures this compounding happens. It is also essential to understand that consistency does not mean rigidity. Life is unpredictable, circumstances change, and challenges arise that may require adaptation. True consistency is not blind repetition, it is deliberate, intentional, and flexible. It is the ability to maintain forward motion while adjusting tactics, learning from mistakes, and improving strategies. Consistency is a framework, not a cage. It allows you to navigate uncertainty without losing momentum, to stay committed to your goals without being derailed by temporary obstacles, and to continue growing even when the path forward is unclear. Consistency strengthens mental toughness. The human mind is naturally inclined to avoid discomfort, to seek the path of least resistance, and to abandon tasks when they become difficult. By committing to consistent action, you train your mind to endure discomfort, overcome procrastination, and resist the temptation to quit. Each time you act, despite fear, fatigue, or doubt, you are building resilience, mental fortitude, and the unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself no matter what external circumstances arise. This mental toughness becomes a protective armor that allows you to face greater challenges, navigate adversity, and persevere when others would falter. Consistency also fosters self-discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results, and consistency is the daily practice that fortifies that bridge. The more consistent you are, the easier it becomes to maintain focus, resist distractions, and prioritize what truly matters. Over time, consistent effort becomes automatic, ingrained in your habits, and resistant to the whims of mood, circumstance, or external opinion. You are no longer a slave to motivation, you are a master of action. You no longer wait for inspiration, you create it through repetition, persistence, and dedication. Finally, consistency multiplies potential. Talent alone is never enough. Motivation alone is never enough. Even luck is fleeting if not supported by disciplined action. But consistency takes raw potential and transforms it into tangible results. It bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It turns vision into reality, ideas into execution, and dreams into accomplishments. Those who are consistent are not guaranteed instant success, but they are guaranteed progress, growth, and the eventual realization of their goals. Consistency ensures that your efforts are never wasted, that your time is never squandered, and that your potential is fully realized through persistent action. Detaching from outcomes is one of the most powerful skills you can cultivate, yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. Most people live their lives tied to results, bound to the approval of others, and obsessed with how things should turn out. They measure their worth by the success or failure of their efforts, by the reactions they receive, and by the unpredictable whims of circumstances. But detachment is the conscious choice to step outside that cycle, to separate your effort from the result, and to focus on what you can control while releasing what you cannot. When you master detachment, you gain freedom, the freedom to act with clarity, to maintain peace of mind, and to navigate life without being constantly thrown off balance by outcomes. Detaching does not mean being indifferent. It does not mean laziness, apathy, or giving up. On the contrary, detachment requires full engagement. It requires showing up completely, giving your absolute best, and investing yourself fully in the process while simultaneously letting go of the obsession with how it all turns out. This mindset creates a paradoxical strength. The more you care about your effort, the less you are shaken by the outcome. By focusing on what you can control, your choices, your actions, your preparation, you free yourself from the anxiety, fear, and frustration that come from trying to control what you cannot. Detachment is not about ignoring reality. It is about engaging with reality in a way that empowers rather than enslaves you. One of the most common mistakes people make is tying their identity to results. They think, if I fail, I am a failure, or if they don't approve, I am worthless. This attachment is a trap because it makes every external event a potential threat to your peace of mind. Detachment, in contrast, allows you to separate your sense of self from outcomes. Your value is not defined by a single victory or loss. It is not dependent on recognition, praise, or validation. By anchoring your identity in your effort, your principles, and your integrity, you create a stable foundation that cannot be shaken by temporary circumstances. This stability allows you to navigate challenges with clarity, focus, and confidence because your inner state is no longer hostage to external events. Detachment also enhances decision making. When you are obsessed with outcomes, fear, and attachment cloud judgment, every choice is influenced by anxiety about success or failure, worry about judgment, and hope for reward. Detachment frees your mind from these distractions. You can evaluate situations with clarity, take calculated risks, and act decisively because your focus is on the quality of your action rather than the uncertainty of the result. Leaders, high performers, and masters in every field understand this principle intuitively. They focus on the process, the strategy, and the discipline, knowing that results will follow naturally when the work is done with excellence. Moreover, detachment strengthens resilience. Life is unpredictable, and the outcome of even the most carefully planned efforts can be affected by factors beyond your control. When you are attached to specific outcomes, setbacks can feel devastating, leading to despair, frustration, and a sense of helplessness. Detachment allows you to experience failure without being crushed by it. You can acknowledge disappointment, learn the lessons, adjust your approach, and continue moving forward. By keeping your focus on effort rather than outcome, you build a mental immunity to the volatility of life, maintaining peace of mind even in the face of challenges that would derail most people. Detachment also improves emotional intelligence. When you stop reacting solely to results, you begin to notice patterns, motivations, and opportunities with greater clarity. You can observe situations objectively, understanding not just what happens, but why it happens and how to respond effectively. Emotional detachment is not coldness, it is awareness. It allows you to engage fully, yet wisely, to respond rather than react, to act with intention rather than impulse. This skill is essential in high-pressure situations, negotiations, relationships, and any area where clear thinking determines outcomes more than luck or talent ever could. One of the most liberating aspects of detachment is the ability to enjoy the process itself. When your focus is on results, every moment is overshadowed by worry about what comes next. You become so consumed by the future that you forget to engage with the present. Detachment allows you to fully inhabit the present, to find satisfaction in effort, learning, and growth, regardless of whether immediate results are favorable. This mindset transforms challenges from sources of stress into opportunities for mastery. You start to appreciate progress itself, the daily act of moving forward, the skill development, and the resilience you build along the way. Detachment also fosters humility and adaptability. When you are fixated on outcomes, you resist feedback, cling to rigid plans, and fear change. Detachment allows you to accept reality as it is, rather than as you wish it would be. You can pivot, adjust, and adapt without ego getting in the way. You can experiment, take risks, and innovate, knowing that your sense of self is not tied to success or failure. This flexibility is a hallmark of high achievers. They remain grounded in effort while navigating the unpredictability of life with grace and intelligence. Another critical benefit of detachment is reduced anxiety and stress. Attachment to outcomes creates a constant mental strain, worry about performance, fear of judgment, and pressure to meet expectations. By practicing detachment, you free your mind from this constant tension. Your energy shifts from worry to action, from fear to focus, from reaction to creation. You learn that anxiety is rarely productive, and that peace of mind is a far more reliable foundation for success than frantic striving or desperate attachment. Detachment also allows for better relationships. When you are not obsessed with outcomes, you can interact with others without hidden agendas, expectations, or the need for validation. You can listen, empathize, and act from genuine intention rather than fear of judgment or desire for approval. This creates trust, respect, and authenticity because people sense when you are grounded in your own integrity rather than driven by the need to manipulate results. Relationships, like all endeavors, thrive when effort is prioritized over outcome. Ultimately, detachment is about reclaiming control over your inner world. Life will always be unpredictable. People will act unpredictably, and circumstances will shift in ways you cannot control. Attachment to outcomes is a form of self-imposed slavery, a surrender of power to the external world. Detachment is the reclaiming of that power. It is the conscious choice to define your inner state by your effort, your principles, and your focus, rather than by external approval or results. Those who master this skill become unshakable, unstoppable, and free. They move through life with calm, clarity, and unwavering confidence, knowing that their value and progress are determined by action, not chance. Your future self is always watching. Every choice you make, every action you take, every moment you hesitate or push forward is being observed by the person you are becoming. Most people live as if their future self does not exist, as if tomorrow is unrelated to today, and as if the consequences of their actions are irrelevant. But the truth is that every decision you make is an investment in the life of your future self, whether you realize it or not. The more consistently you act with purpose, discipline, and clarity, the stronger, wiser, and more capable your future self becomes. Conversely, every moment wasted in doubt, fear, or distraction is a missed opportunity, a small erosion of potential that your future self will feel long after the present moment has passed. Understanding this principle transforms the way you act, think, and prioritize, because suddenly, every choice carries weight, and every effort takes on a new urgency. Thinking about your future self requires a shift in perspective. It's not just about immediate gratification or short-term results, it's about long-term investment. Just as a farmer plants seeds knowing they will not see the harvest immediately, you must make decisions that benefit the person you will become, even if the rewards are delayed. This means prioritizing effort over ease, preparation over procrastination, and growth over comfort. Your future self is counting on you to do the work today that will make life smoother, stronger, and more fulfilling tomorrow. When you act with this mindset, resistance loses its power because the temporary discomfort of effort becomes meaningful rather than painful. You begin to see obstacles as opportunities, challenges as lessons, and discipline as a gift you give to yourself. The future self principle also teaches accountability. When you view your actions through the eyes of the person you will become, you can no longer justify half-hearted effort or careless decisions. Laziness, distractions, and poor choices are no longer harmless. They are betrayals of your potential. You realize that your future self depends on your ability to persevere, to remain focused, and to act in alignment with long-term goals. Every time you choose to show up fully, every time you push through fear, doubt, or discomfort, you are honoring the person you will one day become. This mindset creates a level of personal responsibility and integrity that is far stronger than any external pressure, because it comes from a direct connection to your own future well-being. One of the most transformative effects of thinking about your future self is the development of foresight. When you consistently consider how your actions will impact tomorrow, next month, and next year, you begin to make choices with clarity and purpose rather than impulse and distraction. You anticipate consequences, prepare for challenges, and strategize for success. This foresight is not about controlling the future, it is about shaping it through deliberate action. Every moment you invest in your growth, skills, relationships, and mindset compounds over time, creating a stronger foundation for the life you are building. Your future self is not a passive observer. It is the direct result of the investment you make today. Another key aspect of this principle is patience. Most people want immediate results, instant gratification, and quick fixes. They become frustrated when progress is slow or when effort does not immediately translate into visible success. But your future self operates on a longer timeline, appreciating the slow accumulation of effort, discipline, and experience. Understanding this allows you to endure temporary discomfort, setbacks, and frustration because you recognize that growth is not linear and that every small step taken consistently contributes to the person you are becoming. Patience becomes a tool, not a test, because you are motivated by the long-term vision rather than fleeting emotions. Your future self also benefits from resilience cultivated today. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, and every moment of discomfort you endure strengthens the version of you who will face greater challenges tomorrow. Resilience is built through repeated effort, perseverance, and the refusal to quit. By acting with this mindset, you are essentially coaching your future self, giving it the tools to handle whatever life may throw your way. Each time you push past doubt, distraction, or fear, you are teaching your future self that challenges are not threats but opportunities, that failure is a lesson, and that persistence is a superpower. This preparation is invaluable because life will inevitably test you, and the stronger you make your future self today, the better equipped it will be to thrive under pressure. Thinking about your future self also cultivates vision. When you act with this perspective, you begin to see beyond the immediate moment, beyond temporary setbacks, and beyond the distractions that derail most people. Your goals become clearer, your priorities sharper, and your actions more intentional. You stop being reactive and start being proactive, understanding that every choice contributes to a larger narrative. Your future self depends on the clarity of your vision, and the more clearly you can imagine and define that vision, the more effective your actions become today. This clarity transforms chaos into strategy, distraction into focus, and fleeting motivation into sustained discipline. Your future self also teaches gratitude for effort. Every time you make a conscious choice to act, to persevere, and to invest in growth, you are giving a gift to the person you will become. This creates a mindset of respect for the process, a deep appreciation for progress, and a recognition that true success is built over time. Gratitude for effort fosters humility and discipline, reinforcing the cycle of consistent action and long-term growth. By valuing the work itself rather than only the results, you align your present actions with the needs and aspirations of your future self, creating a powerful feedback loop that sustains momentum and motivation. Detachment from immediate outcomes also complements this principle. Your future self benefits not from frantic attachment to results, but from deliberate, consistent action that prioritizes growth and skill over validation. When you focus on what you can control today, your effort, your mindset, your habits, you are preparing a strong foundation for the future. Outcomes will follow naturally as a result of this preparation. Your future self thrives not because you chased fleeting success, but because you built capacity to handle whatever life presents. Detachment allows you to act without fear of failure, knowing that every action contributes to a larger picture that your future self will inherit. Finally, the future self principle transforms motivation into a form of internal accountability that is unshakable. Motivation comes and goes, influenced by mood, energy, and circumstance. But the awareness that your future self is depending on you creates a level of personal responsibility that transcends external influence. It becomes a standard, a moral obligation, and a deeply personal form of discipline. Every choice, every action, and every moment of perseverance is no longer just about immediate satisfaction. It is about ensuring that the person you become is capable, strong, and prepared. This perspective turns every challenge into an opportunity, every setback into a lesson, and every moment of effort into a gift, shaping a future self who is powerful, resilient, and unstoppable